It's hard to beat the smell of a fresh loaf of bread baking in your kitchen. I'll show you how to make a perfect bakery quality white loaf from scratch with only about 30 minutes of hands-on time. The yeast does most of the work, not you. You'll have a warm loaf of bread in about 4 hours. If you want a soft, pillowy slice that beats anything from the grocery store, this is the recipe that you need. Let's get baking. We'll be making our bread by hand today. You'll need a large bowl and 5 simple ingredients plus some water. You'll need yeast, salt, oil, sugar, and flour. That's simple. First, we'll proof our yeast. You need 1 cup of water, that's 240 milliliters, and you want to make sure that it's between 105 and 110 Fahrenheit or 40 to 43 degrees Celsius. Mine's at 107. Perfect. I'll put this in the bowl. Next, we'll add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar in. That is 25 grams. This will feed the yeast and tenderize the bread. You can also use honey if you would like. I'm giving this a quick little whisk because I want it to dissolve some. And now we will add our yeast in. I'm using active dry yeast. This is 1.5 teaspoons and it's 5 grams. Pour it on and give it a whisk. Now we need to sit this aside for 5 to 10 minutes until it's active, foaming, and bubbly. If you do not see this kind of activity with your yeast, dump it and start over. Check your expiration date. If it's not alive, you can't proceed because you need active yeast to let your bread rise. Ours is happy and healthy. We're going to continue on. You'll need 1 tablespoon of oil. This is 15 milliliters. Pour that right into your bowl. This will enrich our dough and just give it that extra tender, moist crumb. Next, we'll be using between 2 and 3 cups of bread flour. That's around 250 to 350 grams. I have 2 cups measured out. That's what I'm starting with. And to that, I'm adding fine sea salt. You'll need 1 teaspoon, and that is 7 grams. Give that a whisk. And pour that directly into your bowl of yeast. Now give this a stir until this is all completely combined. You can use a stand mixer with this recipe, and I will give you some brief instructions on that if you would like to use a stand mixer. Your dough will be very sticky at this point. Make sure there's no dry particles in there, and then we'll add more flour as needed. I pre-measured a 1/2 cup, which is 63 grams. I will put that in. And just keep stirring. This dough is still very sticky and tacky right now. So I will be adding in another, like a 1/4 cup, which is 32 grams. Every flour is different. The humidity in your home is different. So this is where you just need to look at the dough. This is very sticky, and if I touch it, it sticks to my fingers. So it definitely still needs a little bit of flour. So I'm putting a little bit in, and I'll just keep stirring it. This whole process only takes like 2 to 3 minutes, and then from this point on, when you get it to the point where it's not quite so sticky, we'll transition to putting it on our counter and just hand kneading it for another 5 minutes or so. It's getting really close. I'm just going to put a little more flour in. The dough is starting to form a ball, so I will now transition to the counter to finish kneading. I'm using a mat. You can just use your counter if you'd like. Lightly flour your surface. Turn your dough out. And fold it, push back. Fold it, push back. And just keep doing that for, it'll be about 5 minutes. It'll get less and less sticky, and it'll start to get more smooth. Okay, I have been kneading this for about 5 minutes. If you press it, it should just bounce back or spring back. and the window pane test. You should be able to pull the dough up, stretch it some so you can see light through it without it tearing. It's tearing a little bit, so that just means you just need to knead it just a little more. This is definitely feeling much better. You should be able to stretch it thin and see light through it, and it's not tearing. See that? Once you have kneaded your dough and you're happy with it, oil a bowl. Make sure you put the oil up the sides. Drop your dough in. Give it a flip so that you're getting oil on it so that it doesn't dry out. Cover this in plastic and let it sit in a warm place until it doubles in size. It should be about anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. This recipe has a nice make ahead feature. You can actually put this in the refrigerator in this state for up to 24 hours in an airtight container if time is an issue for you. If you're using your stand mixer, proof your yeast in your stand mixer bowl. After the yeast is proofed, add in the rest of your ingredients. Add your initial 2 cups of bread flour in. Place your bowl on your stand mixer with your bread hook. Mix on low until the dough comes together. It will be shaggy. Then turn it to medium low and mix it for about 5 to 7 minutes. It should be smooth and it should spring back when you touch it. Then transfer your dough to an oiled bowl. Make sure to flip it over so that the oil is coated on both sides and let it sit in a warm place to rise until it doubles in size. Our dough has risen beautifully. It's time to shape it and get it in our pan. This is a 9x5 1-pound loaf pan. I'm just oiling it with olive oil. Spread it on the bottom, up the sides. Punch your dough down. Just removing all of the bubbles. Transfer it out onto your surface. We're going to shape this into a rectangle. While you're shaping it, feel free to press down on it. You're compressing all the bubbles that are in there. And then just start at one end and start rolling. When you get to this end, make a seam and pinch it together. Then I take the ends. I'm going to get a little flour just so this doesn't stick to the table. Take your ends and just tuck them under. And this is ready to go in our pan. I usually smack it a couple times to flatten any surface air bubbles. And then just place it in your pan. Press down on it just a bit. Cover it with plastic wrap, and we're watching for this bread to rise to the surface of the pan. Then we'll turn our oven on to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius. I take my plastic wrap and I put a tiny bit of oil on it so that when the bread rises up, it doesn't stick to the plastic wrap, because that is a disaster if that happens. And then I just place it on top. This should take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour for it to come to the top of the pan, so just set your timer or keep an eye on it. Here's the other make-ahead option. You can take this dough just as it is, put it in the freezer. Once you get it frozen, then take it out and wrap it in something tightly, and at any point you can pull this out of the freezer, let it thaw, come to room temperature, let it rise up, and you'll have homemade bread in an hour or so. Well, our bread has popped up over the edge of the pan. It looks amazing. It's time to put it into our preheated oven. This should bake for around 30 to 35 minutes. I'm setting my timer for 30 minutes and I will check it then. The bread is golden brown. It smells amazing. I'm gonna get it out of this pan and onto a cooling rack. I like to put butter on the top of mine. This is salted butter for extra flavor. And I usually just rub it on the top. Just gives it extra flavor. Now, no one's judging if you cut it sooner. However, it's best if you let this bread cool for 30 minutes to an hour. Technically, it's still cooking inside right now. Steam is redistributing. If you slice into it, you kind of interrupt that process and it could make your bread gummy or dense, but you might eat the whole thing before an hour is even up. So I will be letting this cool for a little while and then we'll cut into it and have a slice. The bread is cool, it smells amazing, and I'm excited to have a piece, so I'm going to cut it. Well, we made a perfect quality white loaf, and as I promised, it is pillowy soft. Look at that. This is dreamy, amazing. Look at that, yum. I do hope you give this a try. This is so good. And if you love baking bread, check out my bread playlist. I look forward to baking with you in the next video.